Today's lesson is called Sophie Turner, Growing Up on Game of Thrones. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
I'm Roger, and today we're going to talk about a famous person, an actress by the name of Sophie Turner. Maybe you've heard of her, maybe you haven't, but you've probably seen her if you're a fan of Game of Thrones. Now, I've seen Sophie Turner before in a few episodes of Game of Thrones. A lot of my friends are big fans of this particular TV series. It's based on a series of books by the American writer George R.R. Martin. And, of course, we've got these TV shows that lots of people are big fans of. Sophie Turner is one of the big actresses in this series, and it's amazing because this series involves a lot of people coming and going. They get killed and stuff like that, but she's actually been in this series since the beginning.
And she made it all the way through to the end. Yes, she is a young lady now, and she kind of grew up on Game of Thrones. She spent a lot of her youth acting on this show. It was a very big part of her life from an early age and up to now. It has been a very big part of her life. That being said, this show is now over, okay? That series has been completed, and I heard that a lot of the actors and actresses that were a part of this show and grew up on this show, so to speak, that they were really affected by the fact that this show had to come to an end. Yes, this show had been a big part of who they were for years and years and years, and Sophie Turner is one of these people. She grew up on Game of Thrones, but now she's moving on to greener pastures, so to speak. Anyways, let's go ahead and start today's article. It's about Sophie Turner, who grew up on Game of Thrones, so to speak.
Sophie Turner, growing up on Game of Thrones. Sophie Turner has gained recognition for her Emmy-nominated performance in HBO's hit drama Game of Thrones. The 24-year-old English actress grew up before our eyes on the show, and she's had ups and downs along the way.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 nominate 这个字是动词，指提名。例如 Jeff's teammates nominated him to be their captain. Jeff 的队友提名他当队长。或是 Albert was nominated for an award because of his bravery in saving someone from drowning. Albert 因英勇救起溺水者而获提名一个奖项。另外补充这个字的名词 nomination， 像是 Sylvia really deserves the nomination for class president, so I'm going to give her my vote. Sylvia 确实值得班长的提名，所以我要把票投给她。
Okay, it's time now for us to discuss the contents of today's lesson. Again, the subject of our lesson for today is the English actress Sophie Turner, and she grew up on Game of Thrones. She started as a child actress, and she was in all seasons of this program, which is quite amazing because, as I said, a lot of actors and actresses came and went. They got killed off in the series, but she was there all the way through. So she grew up on this. Grow up on. You could also say that, hey, I grew up on Cheerios. When I was a kid, I ate Cheerios for breakfast every morning, so I grew up on Cheerios. But in this particular case, hey, she was a child actress, and she actually became an adult while she was filming this series.
Anyways, let's start at the beginning of the first paragraph of our lesson. The first sentence here says, Sophie Turner has gained recognition for her Emmy-nominated performance in HBO's hit drama Game of Thrones. Yes, this is definitely a hit, by the way. I believe that Game of Thrones was pretty much one of the most popular television shows in the whole world for a really long time there. So it was definitely a hit. We say it's HBO's hit drama because this show was featured on this network, HBO. Anyways, Sophie Turner, it says, gained recognition. Okay, if you gain recognition, people notice you. They acknowledge you for something that you've done, usually something good that you've done.
Yep, you might win recognition at your company for outstanding performance, and you might be given a raise or some kind of an award for that. Gaining recognition. In this particular case, yes, people know about her because of her performance in Game of Thrones. And it was an Emmy-nominated TV series on HBO. Nominated means somebody said, hey, they should win this. Of course, every year when we watch the Oscars, there are people who are nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress, etc. Films are nominated for Best Picture, and the Emmy Awards are for TV shows. Although nowadays with streaming, it seems movies and TV shows are getting to be kind of the same thing these days. So maybe the Emmys and the Oscars should merge or something, but that's another subject here. But she's gained recognition, and the show, of course, was Emmy nominated, and the rest is history.
Yeah, Game of Thrones won all sorts of awards. Apparently, though, Sophie Turner, she did a good job on Game of Thrones, but she only got Emmy nominated. Or I should say her performance was only Emmy nominated. She wasn't an Emmy winner. Anyways, the next sentence says, the 24-year-old English actress grew up before our eyes on the show, and she's had ups and downs along the way. Yes, she started this show out when she was very young, and over the years, from season to season, she did grow up before our very eyes on this show. So in that way, you can say that she grew up on Game of Thrones.
Yep, and of course, along the way, she's had ups and downs. If we talk about the ups and downs of life, we're talking about the happy times and the sad times, the really smooth times and the really rough times. You get the idea. Life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes you get successful, sometimes you lose. That's just the way the ball bounces. We've got to get used to that. But yeah, as a kid and as a child actress, that can present lots of problems when you're growing up. So I guess she's had ups and downs along the way, which we're going to find out as our lesson continues. Right now, we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson. We'll listen first.
Turner's interest in acting began at age 3 when her mother enrolled her in drama class. She also took up ballet at a young age, and at 11 years old, she was accepted to the Royal Ballet School in London. However, she turned the invitation down in order to concentrate on acting. She was set on being an actress and believed she needed to break into acting soon if she wanted to make it big.
第二部分我们看到动词 enroll 指注册、课程、登记入学，像是 enroll somebody in something 表示让点点点参加，注册点点点，像是 Before moving to France, Nick enrolled himself in a French class. 搬去法国前 Nick 报名了法文课，或是 Laura is enrolled at one of the best schools in the city. Laura 注册了市内数一数二的学校。接着我们看到单字 concentrate 这个字是动词，指专注、专心、集中，像是 concentrate on 加名词或动词 ing 表示专注于点点点。举例来说 If you concentrate on your homework, you should be able to finish it quickly. 如果你专心做功课，应该很快就可以完成。或是 Lester should concentrate on finishing his homework instead of reading a novel. Lester 应该要专心写完作业，而不是看小说。另外，补充一个相关片语 focus on 表示专注、集中注意力于，像是 It is hard to focus on your homework when people are being loud around you. 当人们在你身边大吵大闹时，你很难专注在作业上。
Anyways, she's 24 years old now, and she's been acting for a long time. Yeah, get this. Turner's interest in acting began at age 3 when her mother enrolled her in drama class. So, yeah, she's been working on Game of Thrones and acting for 10 years, right? Wrong. She's been working in acting, or at least she's had an interest in acting for almost 20 years. Yes, she started acting or had an interest in acting from the age of 3 when her mother put her in drama class or enrolled her in drama class.
Right, so maybe her mother was a tiger mother or something like that and wanted her daughter to be successful, or maybe she just showed this aptitude or this ability at a young age and her mother said, gee, maybe she should go to a drama class. Here we've got the word enroll, which means you actually register for, you sign up for this class, and then you attend classes. A lot of times, of course, when you apply to a university, you'll get accepted, but you won't necessarily enroll, okay? Enrolling means you actually say, yes, I'm going to study here, and you sign up, you give them the information, you pay the tuition, and you start attending classes. So, Sophie started taking drama classes when she was only 3 years old, and she also took up ballet at a young age, and at 11 years old, she was accepted to the Royal Ballet School in London. Wow, that sounds pretty prestigious here. Ballet, of course, is a kind of dance where they wear those tights, you know, and their shoes, and they dance on their toes and stuff. It's actually quite physically demanding, and it requires years and years of training to be good at it. And, of course, there are lots of famous ballets out there. I've never seen a ballet myself, but I've always wanted to see one.
Yeah, ballet is great. Now, it says here that Turner took up ballet at a young age. Okay, if you take something up or take up something in this particular situation, you're not grabbing it or anything like that. If you take up something, you start doing that thing. Usually you start doing that somewhat seriously, or maybe you start doing that thing on a regular basis as a hobby.
However, she turned the invitation down in order to concentrate on acting. So she either applied for the school or they said, hey, we've seen you dance ballet. We want you to come to our school. But she turned them down. She said, nope. I don't have time to go there. I appreciate the offer. You, of course, have a wonderful, prestigious school. It would be an honor to study there, but I've got other goals in my life. She turned down the invitation. She did not accept the invitation, and she did that in order to concentrate on acting. That was her first love. She likes ballet, yes, she can do that in her free time, but she wants to concentrate on acting. Concentrate here is a verb. It just means to focus all your attention on something, especially if you're taking a big exam. You need to concentrate.
Anyways, she wanted to focus on acting, Sophie Turner did. She was set on being an actress and believed she needed to break into acting soon if she wanted to make it big. So there you go. She didn't want to wait. She thought that she wouldn't get a big break unless she started young or started right away. She wanted to break into acting soon as possible. By the way, if you break into a field or if you get a break, not only do you start working in that field, but you get some success in that field as well, or you start to be successful in that field. Anyways, she's got the right attitude here, apparently. When she was young, she was already set on being an actress.
Yeah, that just means that's what you want to do. That's what you're focusing on. That's what you're concentrating on. She was set on being an actress. That's what she wanted to do. And of course, you know, after all those things happen, you can make it big, which means, yes, to become very famous. Your picture will be on magazines all over the world. Everybody will want to take a selfie with you. You will be really famous and rich.
There you go. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up the first part of our article on Sophie Turner.
Turner's big plans got on track at 13 years old when she landed her first professional role, Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. Turner was lucky enough not only to get the part, but also to play one of the few characters that survived all 8 seasons of the gory series. Throughout her years on the show, Turner became close to her co-stars, especially her on-screen sister, Maisie Williams. She even grew so fond of her character's direwolf that she ended up adopting the dog once its time on the show was over.
第三部分我们看到形容词 gory， 意思是血腥暴力的、残暴的。例如 Jane loves to watch gory horror movies. Jane 喜欢看血腥暴力的恐怖电影。接着我们看到单字 series， 这个字是名词，指电视系列节目、影集，像是 There is a funny television series that I watch every Tuesday evening. 我每周二晚上会收看一档好笑的系列节目。或是 Most young people have seen the Star Wars film series. 大多数的年轻人看过星际大战系列电影。另外补充一个相关片语 a series of 表示一连串的、一系列的。我们可以说 Before the television show started, we had to watch a series of silly commercials. 电视节目开始前，我们得看一堆无聊的广告。再来，我们看到名词 co-star， 指共同演出的演员。举例来说 This movie features not only Will Smith, but also many other co-stars. 这部电影不只由威尔史密斯主演，还有许多共同演出的演员。最后我们看到单字 on screen， 这个字是形容词，指在荧幕上的，在电视或电影中的。例如 The actor's on-screen personality is much different than how he is in real life. 这名演员在荧幕上的性格和现实生活中截然不同。
Okay, so here in the last part of today's lesson, we can see that Sophie Turner's career was on track. She was doing everything right. Her mother enrolled her in a drama class, and she wanted to focus on acting. So, gee, at a very young age, she actually got a big break here. Turner's big plans got on track at 13 years old when she landed her first professional role, Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. So her plans were on track. If something's on track, that means they're going the way they're supposed to. You're focusing, you're concentrating, you're not letting yourself get distracted. Her plans got on track. They were successful. Her plans were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And she landed her first professional role. Landed here means she got the role. And if it's professional, that means you're getting paid for it. Before that, maybe you're acting in school plays or community theater or something like that. That's fun and everything, and people see you, but you're not really getting paid for it. It's not professional. Maybe it's amateur, but here, this is a professional role, something she actually got paid for and could be seen by audiences all over the world.
For instance, my wife is a professional filmmaker. That's what she does for a living. People pay her to do that. And yes, her plans were definitely on track. She was making progress, positive, real progress towards her goals. Wow, she landed this role on Game of Thrones. Now, Turner was lucky enough not only to get the part, but also to play one of the few characters that survived all 8 seasons of the gory series. Like I alluded to this before, she's one of the few characters that was there from the beginning and made it all the way through to the end. In Game of Thrones, characters came and went very, very frequently. There was a lot of death and killing in the show. It was definitely a gory series.
Gory means bloody, lots of blood and guts, and it's probably kind of gross. It's probably rated R, so of course you probably need to watch it in the company of an adult. And of course a series is a bunch of TV programs, one after the other. Game of Thrones is a TV series, not just one movie. Now, throughout her years on the show, Turner became close to her co-stars, especially her on-screen sister, Maisie Williams. So, okay, a co-star, of course, is somebody you're starring with, somebody else who is acting with you. That's your co-star. You are a star, and they are your co-stars. And if you're on screen here, that means it's her sister that was in the show Game of Thrones, not her real-life sister, her on-screen sister, and she became quite close to her. They were the best of friends.
Here, and get this, she even grew so fond of her character's direwolf that she ended up adopting the dog once its time on the show was over. So not only did they develop bonds like family members, apparently some of the actors also developed bonds with some of the animal characters on the show as well. Sophie Turner here actually adopted a dog from the show. How cool. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a break. But don't go away. The Chinese teacher is waiting in the wings.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们来看今天的文法重点。好，在 Game of Thrones 这个热门影集中，观众们就看着几个角色成长，看他们从小时候演到长大。那么 Sophie Turner 就是其中一位。课文第一部分最后一句就写到说，这位24岁的英国女演员在众人对这部戏的关注下成长，一路上历经了波折起伏。那么课文是用到 ups and downs 这个用语。up 和 down 在这边当名词，那么 up 就表示变好或是上升， down 表示变坏或是衰退。那么 ups and downs 就是指说人生际遇或是情绪等等的起落，或者是事物发展的兴衰。那它常常用来描述命运啊、人生事业等等的浮浮沉沉、起落、盛衰之类的。例如 There are ups and downs in every relationship， 每段感情都有起有落。好，顺便补充其他类似结构的片语哦，也是用 and 来连接两个相反的名词。像第一个 ins and out， 从字面来看像是里面和外面，它就是用来表达一件事里里外外所包含的所有细节，用来表达某个情况或是某个程序中的细节详情、来龙去脉。好，那么第二个补充的是 pros and cons， 其中的 pro 它指的是优点或是赞成的论点，那么 con 指的是缺点或是反对的论点。 pros and cons 就可以表达赞成及反对的理由、正反意见，也可以指说利弊、优缺点。那第三个补充的是 do's and don'ts。do's 是指可以做的事， don'ts 是指不可以做的事。那么 do's and don'ts 这个用语引申的意思就是注意事项、行为准则。好， Sophie Turner 在那部影集里面饰演的角色呢，她有一只冰原狼 dire wolf。 课文最后一句就提到说 She even grew so fond of her character's dire wolf that she ended up adopting the dog once its time on the show was over。 她甚至非常喜欢自己角色所拥有的冰原狼，结果在那只狗狗戏份一结束，她就领养了那只狗。好，句子里面用到片语动词 end up，它表示说最后怎么样，结果怎么样，最后处于某个状况。那常常用来表达在非预期的情况下，以某个出乎意料的结果告终。那么 end up 它是不及物用法，后面要接补语。这个补语可以用形容词、现在分词、过去分词或是介系词片语。像课文呢，就是用现在分词 adopting 来当补语用。我们来造两个例句。The letter ended up in the trash can。 那封信最后出现在垃圾桶里，这边用 in the trash can 介系词片语来当补语。再造个例句 They were supposed to go to the library, but they ended up playing video games at home。 他们本来要去图书馆，但最后却是在家打电动。那这边我们就是用现在分词 playing 来当补语用。好，那么以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Recognition. The soldier received a medal in recognition of his bravery during the war. Nominate. In December 2019, comedian Trevor Noah was nominated for a Grammy Award. Enroll. Colin enrolled in a teacher training course so he could become a yoga instructor. Ballet. Let's meet up for dinner before we go to the ballet performance tonight. Concentrate. My parents won't let me get a part-time job because they want me to concentrate on my studies. Professional. Carla Suarez has announced that 2020 will be her last year as a professional tennis player. Series. The Mandalorian, a TV series set in the Star Wars universe, has received fantastic reviews.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.